What's happening, everybody? It's John Trade, the Rolling Realtor, and I'm back to answer a question for you guys today that I get pretty often, especially from new people in the industry, and that is, how do I choose a realtor, a broker? How do I choose an office to go to when I get my license and I go through the process? How do I pick the right broker for me to make money? I get it a lot because I mentor several people right now, and so I'm going to give you guys the same information that I give the people that I'm mentoring. You want to pick a broker that when you go in and meet with them, you feel totally at home in the office. You feel comfortable. You meet everyone if possible, or as many as you possibly can. Some offices have 200, 300 agents in them, so you won't meet everybody. But meet as many of the agents as you can. Ask them what they think. But try to ask them when the recruiter isn't next to you, so they're not going to give you a weighted answer. But talk to the people in the office. Call different agents, just random agents. Call different random agents from different brokerages and ask them, what do you think of the brokerage that you're in? I'm getting my license soon. I'm trying to find a broker to go to. What do you think of your office? What do you think of your brokerage? Does it offer a lot for a new agent that's getting into the business? Does it do a lot of training? Does it have a mentoring program? Those are the things you want to ask. So call around, talk to people. But as you visit different offices, you're going to be hit with a ton of information, a ton of different things for you to look at and consider. So as a new agent, let me tell you what's important. Number one, it's training and knowledge. By far, the most important aspect is training and knowledge. You're not going to know anything about doing real estate after passing the real estate exam. It doesn't teach you how to do it. It teaches you terminology, it teaches you phrases, it teaches you vocabulary. It does not teach you anything about how to acquire clients. It doesn't teach you anything about how to actually fill out contracts. It doesn't teach you about required paperwork. It doesn't teach you about any of that stuff. It glosses over some of the basics, but you really don't understand any of it. So when you talk to a broker, ask them, what's your new agent training program? And is it free? Some brokerages have extensive training, but you have to pay for it. I wouldn't go there. Personally, I wouldn't. Maybe you feel it differently. I don't. I don't think that if I'm going to be giving a broker up to 50% of my commission, that I should then have to pay them to teach me to do the job where they're going to take 50% of my money. That seems like they're taken from two sides. So, ask a broker, what's your training program for new agents? Number one. Number two, do you have a mentoring program in place and in-house? And what exactly is it? What does it entail? And do we get to pick our mentor, or does the mentor choose us? And in the mentor program, how much percentage does the mentor get on each deal and for how many deals? How long does the mentorship last? Is it a 3-month, a 6-month, a 1 year? And make sure you understand all the specifications. Make sure you get with a mentor. If you're going to go into an office, get with a mentor that's doing the kind of business you want to do. It doesn't help you at all to get with a mentor whose only business comes from the 2 or 3 or 4 referrals that they get every single year, and who doesn't do any promotional work, who doesn't do any marketing work, who isn't knocking doors, making phone calls, sending out mailers, doing flyers, all that stuff. It's not going to help you to be with a mentor like that. They may make a decent amount of money for themselves, but if your business model is different than the way they run their business, they're not going to be able to mentor you properly. I'll give you an example. In a brokerage that I was affiliated with, my mentor only did referral business. The person I was working with did not do any marketing or individualized marketing to acquire new clients. I am new into the business at the time, so as I come in, I want to do a lot of promotional work. I want to do marketing. I want to knock on doors. I want to make phone calls. I want to do flyers. I want to do anything I can to put my name out there because I wasn't in the business for 30, 40, 50 years. I needed to acquire clients. But when I was a new agent, the agent they gave me had been in the business for 30 years practically. So that person didn't need to do those things anymore. But that person couldn't teach me how to acquire clients because it had been so long since they had done it themselves. So I had to go out and find a new company or a new broker to come in and teach me the things I needed to know. So I'm telling you guys now, as you go into the business, find a broker that's going to have an extensive training program in place, that's going to teach you everything you need to know, from paperwork to contracts to legality to acquiring clients, finding places to market, farming a community, advertising promotion, the legal advertising promotion, by the way, because most states have a stipulation. Like in Pennsylvania, we actually have font size requirements. We have bold requirements for certain fonts, and we have signage requirements. So there's a lot of little intricacies that you're going to have to make sure you know. The other thing you want to find is, does the brokerage that you're going to, do they offer desk fees or a free desk? Do they offer free copies or just free black and white copies, or no free copies at all? Some offices charge you for every copy. Well, let me tell you something. I can tell you right now, as an agent, I make a ton of copies. Every single week, I'm making tons of copies. Whether it's MLS forms or letter printouts in any form, I make a lot of copies. So if I had to pay for every copy I made, I'd be broke. Does your brokerage provide you with open house signs? Do they provide you with lawn signs, or do you have to buy them or rent them? Does your brokerage provide marketing materials? And if not, what's the cost for them? So there's a lot that goes into picking the right broker. It's also a distance thing. So make sure you get with a broker that's not too far from your house, because you want to go there. You want to be able to do floor time. That being said, let me tell you, almost everybody tells you when you first start out in the business, do a lot of floor time, because that's how you're going to pick up leads. No, it's not. That's a rarity. It does happen, and the weird times that it happens and somebody calls in and says, I'm looking for $1 million house, do you have an agent, and you happen to be on floor time to get the sale? Yeah, that does happen very, very rarely. So when somebody tells you that story, ask them, how many times a week does that happen? They're probably going to say, well, it doesn't happen every week. Okay, how many times a month does it happen? Well, it doesn't happen every month. Okay, then floor time's really not that valuable, is it? The reality is, I've done hundreds and hundreds of hours of floor time, and I think I've gotten one call that was ever valuable, and it was for a rental. So I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm saying put your time into a place where it's going to be more valuable, because the only commodity you have as an agent besides yourself is your time. Make sure you're using it on money-making endeavors. Promotion, marketing, getting out in the community, talking to people. So in terms of the brokerages, again, the final thing you should consider, and most of you are going to consider this first, which is why you're making mistakes. The final consideration for where you go is the actual brokerage split. Now, why is it final? Because if all those other things aren't there, it doesn't matter how much money they're going to pay you. 100% of nothing is 100% of nothing. It's nothing. It doesn't matter. If the training's not there, you're not going to be any good as an agent. If the promotion and lessons aren't there, you're not going to know how to advertise and promote yourself. If you don't have a mentor that teaches you how to do the business, you're not going to be able to do the business. So when you sit down for a listing presentation, the person you talk to, you're going to be completely befuddled, you're going to be totally messing up, and you're going to screw up the whole presentation. They're not going to hire you. Or on the flip side, somebody comes to you and says, I want to buy a house, can you represent me? You are not going to know what you should be looking for, what you should be asking for, and what you should be doing. So without a good training program, without good knowledge, without a good mentor, without all those aspects, it doesn't matter if the split is 90-10 in favor of you or 50-50. It doesn't matter. You have to have these other aspects first. That's the important part. The end result is the commission split, and that's important, but not as important. The most important thing is that you get your foot in the door, you start making money, you start building a client base, you start building referrals. Then, if you don't like your commission split, you can go back to your broker and say, listen, Mr. Broker, Mrs. Broker, I came here at 50-50. I've been doing this amount of business. Here's how many homes I've sold. I'd like to go to 65-35 or 70-30 or 75-25. That's the time to make that conversation happen. I talk to so many people that are first getting in the business that say to me, I'm going with XYZ Realty because they give 100% commission. Why? What else do they give you? Nothing. Okay, well, how are you going to make money? I don't know. I know a lot of people. Knowing a lot of people and knowing a lot of people that will hire you is a big, big difference. The two are not the same. I've talked to dozens and dozens and dozens of people over the years who have said to me, you don't know how many people I know. I've got friends everywhere. The reality is, you know people. You know them by name. Hey, Joe. Hey, Mark. Hey, Bill. You know, that doesn't mean that they're going to turn around and give you their single largest asset and trust you to acquire the highest possible price for them. It also doesn't mean they're going to turn to you and say, here, help me find a house and negotiate for me the lowest possible price. What it means is, if they see you at the coffee shop, they'll shake your hand, they'll say hello, they'll ask you how you've been doing. There is a difference between knowing a lot of people and knowing a lot of people you're going to do business with. So if you know a lot of people, make sure you turn that into a business knowledge and not a casual acquaintance. So that's my spiel. How do I find a broker? Those are the things to look for. Those are the things that I think are very, very important. If you've got more things that you want to ask about, feel free. Drop me a line anytime. I'm always available. I love getting feedback from you guys. So as always, like, comment, share, subscribe. stay with my channel, check my Instagram, check my Twitter, check my LinkedIn, watch my YouTube, the whole thing, and friend me on Facebook. I'll talk to you guys again later. It's a Rolling Realtor. I'm out.